If you're a Chelsea fan at this moment in time, you must be fuming and tired from Moses Caicedo's non-actions and Levi Colwill's silence. Because for me, I'm telling you right now, he's playing both sides and the deal has stalled. And the reason it stalled, I'll tell you in this video. And number two, it looks like Michael Olise has agreed personal terms with Chelsea. There are 3 attackers that Chelsea want and they're going to pick one. And it means the end of Angelo and they're going on loan. I'll give you that information. And finally, Conor Gallagher. It looks like his time at Chelsea is up. Mauricio Pochettino isn't happy about it. I don't care. And finally, it looks like at this moment in time, we have reached the rock bottom. Manchester United, Mason Mount, no problem, let's get the deal done. Kai Havertz, Arsenal, no problem, let's get the deal done. Manchester City, Kovacic, no problem, let's get the deal done. Fulham, Callum Hudson-Odoi, hold on, wait a minute, you're rivals with us. What? It doesn't make sense. Let's break this down and get into this. Let's go. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys, and let's break this video down today because we have got a lot to talk about. I know why you came here, Bratuki. You saw the rundown, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, and you're like, this is something I want to watch. And I really appreciate for you guys coming here because the reality is there are so many Chelsea football content creators out there and you can gather the news anywhere. But a lot of you come here from my perspective and you like the way I deliver stuff. So I greatly appreciate that. And if you want to share my content around, hit the like button because it goes a long way. 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel. We are powering through. You lot helped me out yesterday to 29k. I really appreciate that. Do it now. And finally, share the content. Literally hit that share button. Let people around find out, all right? Share it on your social media platforms. It does a massive, massive service to this channel. And I greatly appreciate it. Now, I'm going to do what you guys love, what I do best. Break it down in a truthful, blunt way. So yesterday, when I tell you Chelsea Twitter broke down yesterday when this news dropped, I'm not exaggerating. A source from France, Fabrice Hawkins, if I'm not mistaken, if I butchered his name, I want to apologize, has revealed that Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Michael Olise from Crystal Palace. He's a former Chelsea Academy player. He left, went to Reading, and from Reading, he ended up at Crystal Palace, where last year he got 10 assists, and I think only a few players in the Premier League did that. Like, he really shone. Kid's always had a lot of talent and he's finally starting to just display it in a productive way. And Chelsea are interested in him. And a lot of you are going to say, Alex, how many wingers are we going to buy? Like, we've had personal terms agreed with Shirky, we've got personal terms agreed with Kudos, and now we've got personal terms agreed with Olise. What's going on here? Well, I'm here to break it down for you guys. Like I've said, Chelsea are looking for an individual that can play cam and can play right hand side of the wing. So basically an inside forward that's comfortable in the middle but at the same time can hog the touchline and do a little bit of a madness and create. All 3 of those players really fit that criteria. Chelsea want to shop in around the 40 million euros mark, and guess what? Michael Olise has a release clause of 35 million pounds allegedly that is available for big clubs that are mentioned within the contract, and apparently I'm guessing Chelsea are mentioned. Manchester City are looking at him as well and potentially could go in to acquire his service. But this is where now we start getting into a little bit of a conundrum because Chelsea need to pick which one they want. And I'm going to ask you this question. Should Chelsea sign some? Because you guys know my opinion. I'm really high on Angelo. I like what I saw from Angelo so far. Angelo is well developed through his years. He's already had more minutes than Mudryk, and he's already had more experience than Noni. If you look at their minutes played in his career, even though he's 18 years old, he's played over 5,000 minutes in Brazil. He's really toughened up. He's had 4 seasons adult football, and he's a very good player. Look, a lot of people are going to say Mudryk's ahead of him. Why? Because he costs 100 million? Might be a better player. I'm not saying he's not. People are going to say Noni's better than him. Why? Because he played in Holland and not in Brazil? Like, can you really put your hand on your heart and tell me the Ukrainian league, the Dutch league, is better than the... You can't. So now we need to judge it with our los ojos, our glaza, our eyes. We need to judge it for ourselves. But people don't want to do that a lot. But there is no point of doing that as well because Strasbourg's chief executive has come out and said Angelo will go on tour with Chelsea. He'll play there, and in August he's going to join Strasbourg on loan. So what are we going to do? We're going to sign an attacking midfielder, whether it's Olise, Kudos or Shirky, and then he's going to compete with Noni. And next year, when Angelo comes back, what's going to happen? What's the pathway? I don't see the pathway. it's silly. I think it's stockpiling talent. And I think it's essentially, we're going to move one on and make a crazy profit. That's what it's going to be. The best of the best will stay, but the others will develop and will leave. So my advice to you guys is don't get attached to these players, because the reality is we're going to be moving some of them on really quickly for a hefty premium, and the owners are going to love it. On to the next story. Now it's time to give a little bit of the honest truth, all right? Because Jacob Steinberg has come out and said that Chelsea's deal with Brighton has stalled. And the reason it's stalled for Moises Caicedo is because Brighton have said it clear as day, right? £100 million, you give us we'll give you a discount if you give us Levi Colwill. And this deal has stalled for two reasons, in my opinion. One, Chelsea's hesitancy to pay 100 million when the market suggests you have to pay 100 million. A lot of you don't think Caicedo is worth 100 million. You're saying 80 million pounds. I'm going to say this. Is Caicedo at 100 million pounds worse than going and spending 70 million pounds on a Decore from Crystal Palace? I think it is. I think it's better to go and buy somebody that you believe is the proven ticket, somebody that you know is going to come in, hit the ground running and be amazing, then go risk it for a Decore. That's just my personal opinion. I think he's better than Paulinho. He's better than Decore. I think he's better than Lavia. I think he's an Enzo Fernandez type signing. People aren't going to like that. They're not going to agree with me, but that's what we're here for. I give you my opinion. You tell me in the comments below if you like my opinion or not. I don't get offended as long as you don't be cussing me. Okay? It's perfectly fine. This is where we need to talk about the right things. And on this channel, I don't hide from the fact that there are two individuals that are getting away with it here. Number one, Moises Caicedo. My friend, I think it's time for you to throw your toys out of the pram. Sometimes you need to do a Wesley Fofana. Sometimes you need to be a little bit of a bad boy. And in this sense, you need to do what Fofana did. Stop going to training. Being an individual that is a great employee. You want to force your way out of Brighton. You can't do exactly what they want you to do. It's not right. And you know what? I think it's unethical. But sometimes to get stuff done, you need to do the things that are not right. And in his case, he needs to stop attending training. He needs to start becoming a nuisance. He needs to start becoming a problem. And for me, that's very easy for him to do. I could give him the blueprint. All right, this is what you need to do, Moises. Share this video so Moises can see it, right? Step one, stop attending training. Tell Brighton, I'm not playing for you guys anymore. I'm not happy. Step two, start tweeting. Literally start tweeting like, I just want to leave. I don't want to be here. I've got a fair offer in for me. I think it's time for me to move on. I don't care. Burn the relationship with their fans. And this is if he really wants to move. Because otherwise, he can't complain. We can't be hearing stuff that his camp are furious, his camp are annoyed that it's taking too long. You're not aiding it. And now number two, Levi Colwill. I think people need to start looking at him as well. And I'm telling you this in the easiest way. Imagine you want to buy something, right? And no, you're selling something. Someone comes to you and goes, oh, I want to take this off you. And you're like, it's not for sale. Yet, the other person knows because someone's told them that you're trying to sell it. They're going to have more of a bargaining power because they're going to say, no, I'm not leaving without you saying no. This is exactly what's happening with Brighton. People are telling me, oh no, Levi Colwill is definitely staying at Chelsea. Look at the endorsement Pochettino gave him. He's happy. He wants to stay at Chelsea. Whoa, guys, if he really wants to stay at Chelsea, why are Brighton consistently bringing him up in negotiations? I think it could be a bluff, but at the same time, I don't think Levi's directly told them, look guys, I'm not coming back. I'm staying at Chelsea. I'm re-signing with a new contract. I have no intention of coming back. Because if he did, they would not be pushing as hard as they are for him. They want to secure his services. And he is enabling them to do so. And the longer he waits to sign that contract, if it's been offered, or to publicly or privately even, I don't want him to tweet nothing, just privately tell him, I'm not coming back. The weaker it puts Chelsea in a bargaining position. And more importantly, this is what it does. It makes Chelsea weaker. No Caicedo makes us weaker. So we have to be honest. We have to be open. We have to say, Levi needs to do more. I'm not saying he needs to come out publicly and tell the whole world, I'm staying at Chelsea, this is my club. No, you're going to ruin your bargaining power for your new contract. I get it. But at the same time, you can tell Brighton, I'm not coming back. stop messing Chelsea around with Caicedo, because I'm staying here, and stop trying to make my new team weaker. That's just my personal opinion. I want to hear yours. On to some sales, and we're going to break this down in a nice quick manner. Callum Hudson-Odoi, like I said to you guys the other day, is in talks with Lazio because apparently Chelsea's refusing to do negotiations with English clubs because Fulham have bid £4 million for him and Chelsea think it's unacceptable. So they're asking for 8. They're not receiving 8, and the reason they're not receiving 8 is because Fulham know that Chelsea are desperate to sell him. So Chelsea now has said, we're not selling to any Premier League rivals. Hold on, where was this policy when you sold Kovacic to City, Mount to United, Kai Havertz to Arsenal? Why on earth is now there an exception to the rule to Callum Hudson-Odoi? Like, what is going on here? You have actively strengthened those clubs, in my opinion. I've got no problem with it, but I don't like unfairness. I don't like one rule for one and one rule for another. I don't like that. I think there needs to be some objectivity in this scenario. Callum Hudson-Odoi deserves to go to a club in England if he wants to play in England. You can't force him to Italy because you're not happy that you want to strengthen Fulham. I don't care if Fulham is our rival. I know we finished close to them, but come on, it's ridiculous. For Callum's career, most probably going to Lazio is a blessing, like I said the other day. But if he wants to stay at home and be with his family and doesn't want to relocate his life to Italy, they should take the deal done. Stop being silly. And number 2, Mauricio Pochettino is unhappy. And he's unhappy because he doesn't want to lose Conor Gallagher. That's what's being reported. And Conor Gallagher is being shopped out by Chelsea. Chelsea had a £45 million fee put on his head, and now they've reduced it to 35 apparently, and they're going to listen to bids from West Ham, who apparently have said they're going to bid, Spurs, and there are other clubs in the Premier League that are actively looking at him. There are clubs internationally that are looking at him, but the wages are putting him off. What I think about this, I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because Poch can't get his own way, because I genuinely don't think Gallagher's good enough. I explained it in my video yesterday and I'm going to reiterate it again. I don't think he's good enough with his awareness to play in the 6, and I don't think he's technically gifted enough in ball retention to play in the 10, nor is he creative to play either one of those roles. I think he doesn't show for the ball. I think he hides. I think he's a tremendous athlete, and he will have a long, illustrious career in the Premier League at a team that is located somewhere between 8th and 15th. That's my personal opinion. I think he's too good for the relegation battle, not good enough for a top 6. That's my personal opinion. Please don't abuse me for it. I've got nothing personal against Conor Gallagher. I've got nothing personal against the way he looks, the way he plays, the way he dresses. Nothing against his family. It's genuine football-related criticism. I don't think he's Chelsea caliber. I'm sorry. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I gave it to you in a short, concise manner. I tried to keep it fluid as possible. So now all I ask from you is hitting the like button, get me to 1,000 likes, subscribing so that we could get 29K. And thank you very much for watching till the end. Go and watch some of the other videos that are pinned right here. Bye.